Coming up, we're connecting you with the creativity and culture in your community, including a Holyoke eatery that's baking comfort and community into every bite.
People come in and they feel comfortable. It's a warm and welcoming space. It felt like home as soon as we walked in.
A new exhibit examines how Black citizens continued the struggle for equality in post-Civil War America.
It's really important to understand what that fight was for Black Americans to overcome those Jim Crow laws and how much further we still have to go.
And knock back some pins, candle pins that is, at the Agawam Bowl.
You could score 300, theoretically, nobody's ever going to get there. It's that difficult, it's that much of a challenge.
Join us for those stories and more as we explore the creativity, culture, and community that make us Western New England. Up next on Connecting Point.
Support for Connecting Point is provided by our contributing viewers.
Welcome, and thanks for joining us for Connecting Point, your source for creativity, culture, and community. I'm Saidalis Bauer. Every week we explore all that the region has to offer, and today we're coming to you from South Hadley, Massachusetts. This Hampshire County town is home to a variety of local farms and one of the most prestigious women's colleges in the county, Mount Holyoke College. The eclectic downtown featuring unique dining, shopping, and even an independent cinema is a destination for residents and college students alike. But our first story takes us just a few miles away to the city of Holyoke. Amid the pandemic, Janet Blake was inspired to open Comfort Bagel to foster connection and community during a time when many were apart. The contact-free bagel delivery service grew in popularity and soon outgrew Blake's home kitchen. Less than a year after it launched, Comfort Bagel opened a storefront at Open Square in Holyoke, and it's become a go-to spot for bagel lovers in Western Massachusetts and beyond. Producer Dave Frazier stopped by the breakfast spot and brings us their story.
At 5 a.m., almost all the windows are dark at Open Square in Holyoke, but the warm glow from Comfort Bagel is inviting.
Oh yeah, so Old Bay's next.
Inside, owner Janet Blake, aka the Bagel Lady, is hard at work mixing dough and prepping bagels for the oven.
Do the salted rosemary or the sesame.
She's been doing this since March of 2020, when the region was in full lockdown due to the coronavirus. Restaurants were closed, families were isolated in their homes, and to make matters worse, there wasn't a good bagel to be found anywhere, according to Janet.
So I started thinking about, what could I do in my community? What could I do to, support my family? And I kept coming back to that idea that I loved bagels and, what the heck? Maybe I can figure out how to make them.
She started Comfort Bagel as a cottage bakery in her home, with the idea of offering contact-free delivery of freshly baked bagels 4 days a week.
I posted in the West Springfield Community Forum when I got a little closer to what I thought was a good bagel, and I said, would anybody be interested in bagels? And by the end of the day, there were like 300 comments. Yes, yes, yes.
With increasing demand, the limitations of operating out of a residential kitchen, and the easing of COVID restrictions, it soon became apparent that it was time to expand. In July 2021, Comfort Bagel opened its doors at Open Square in Holyoke. The first day was a memorable one for Janet.
We had a sign hanging up there that said, "We have no idea what we're doing, please be patient with us." We were so overwhelmed. It was crazy, but we made it through.
The shop operates on a Thursday through Sunday schedule, but hopes to expand. On the day we visited, Janet and Michaela were prepping dough in the back, while out front, Teresa and Matt were waiting on customers. They still offer online ordering, and quite often there's a line out the door.
So we're either here for 4:30, we're baking. Today we're doing about 52 dozen. Once they're coming out, we are fulfilling all of the pre-orders. So we get a lot of pre-orders. That's the way people can guarantee they get the exact flavors that they want. We do a novelty flavor, and then people will order a ton of them and freeze them, because you can freeze our bagels really well.
When it came to choosing a location for Comfort Bagel, Janet says she looked at many communities, but something about downtown Holyoke spoke to her.
I love the renaissance of Holyoke. a lot of entrepreneurs starting businesses here, and the spaces are just beautiful and underutilized. So when I came looking and I saw this cafe, it just has the exact vibe that goes with our brand, you know? I mean, people come in and they feel comfortable. It's a warm and welcoming space. It's, you know, it's got a lot of great details, and you know, it felt like home as soon as we walked in. We have a pretty strong social media presence, and almost every week we get a comment of thanks so much for coming to Holyoke. And whenever I've thought of maybe we should, you know, open a business someplace else that with more foot traffic, we could go somewhere else, but you know, this has become our home.
Every week, Connecting Point explores the creativity, culture, and community that make us Western New England. But it doesn't stop there. You can find us online anytime for exclusive features and content. In this week's digital exclusive, Comfort Bagel owner Janet Blake talks about an image that hangs on the wall inside the shop at Open Square in Holyoke. It pays homage to the many workers that once filled the old mill buildings in the paper city.
And he came across this image of some mill workers, and we were hoping that it was taken at this mill. But the really cool part about it is one of our customers came in one weekend and realized that her grandmother was in this photo.
You can find that digital exclusive online right now at nepm.org/connectingpoint. In recognition of Black History Month, Wisteria Hearst Museum in Holyoke is hosting Black Citizenship in the Age of Jim Crow, a poster exhibit that documents Black Americans' continuing struggle for equality in the years following the Civil War. The exhibit, organized and distributed by the New York Historical Society Museum and Library, is supplemented with artifacts and images from the Black Holyoke collection. Connecting Point's Johan Rashi Vega spoke with Wisteria Hearst curator Penny Martorell about the exhibit and how it reflects the experience of the Black community in the Pioneer Valley.
I found it a few years ago during the pandemic. The New York Historical Society is the group that put it together, did all the research, and in their mission, under the grant that they got, it was to share this information with other institutions. So they put together an 8-poster exhibit that outlines the laws of the Jim Crow era and how that affected citizens, Black Americans across the nation. And so we keep it on hand, so it seemed appropriate this year that this would be the exhibit. So I've tried to enrich it a little bit with some local history. We had a scholar here, Erica Slocum, who did a project called Reliquary of Blackness and did a deep dive into local Black history here in Holyoke, and has enriched that history for us and for future generations, because now we have these oral histories and scrapbooks to look at that document Black citizens in Holyoke. So that's great. And you know, the meaning of this exhibit, these Jim Crow laws that went into place, are really the underlying structure to what we see in institutional racism now. And so it's really important to understand what that fight was for Black Americans to overcome those Jim Crow laws, and how much further we still have to go to, you know, get equality for Black Americans.
When we see the work that Erica Slocum has been doing for this past years with the project that started with Black Holyoke and now the Reliquary, what were some of those findings that you could connect between Jim Crow and what the Black community in the Valley had to experience based on the documents or testimonials or objects that now are part of that history?
Erica did a lot of oral histories with folks who pretty much grew up in Holyoke. And the subtle ways that these laws took place or manifested themselves in Holyoke. So there was evidence of redlining. Through these oral histories, Black folks talked about how this affected their lives when they went to go buy a house, when they went to move into an apartment, the questions they were asked. And so this has just added to the history of Holyoke, you know, another layer, another perspective of our own history. But we can see how it connects to national things that were going on with redlining and discrimination and, all of those things that were taking place.
This exhibit will be available for the public during February, being Black History Month. And aside of the posters, what else the public will be able to enjoy and to appreciate as part of this whole experience here at Wisteria Hearst?
The New York Historical Society has also included a video that we'll have running to bring some of those things to life in motion. And they've supplied us with a curriculum and a whole list of other resources that people can take away with them, do their own research, look up things online, as well as some local historical pieces. We have, there was an organization here in Holyoke called the Monarch Club, which was an African-American group that got together to advance and talk about their own causes. So little things like that we have collected, a little bit we've collected, and tried to bring them out for people to see as well.
When we talk about providing resources, not only for the public in general, but thinking how this could become another way to continue expanding and exposing people to history and the realities of what the Jim Crow era was and still today continues impacting not only the Black community, but in general, the whole narrative of what history is still today. How do you think this exhibit has an importance for our community where we are diverse and yet not enough represented when we talk particularly of the Black community?
So I think the longer span of time that goes between laws that were in place and we think we're advanced, and yet this underlying framework of Jim Crow has really provided a structure for the institutional racism that we see now. So understanding what we had, where that came from, can help us understand how we need to dismantle it. And that is the key lesson.
How do you feel being able to put together this exhibit where, while these posters are a limited number compared to what other examples of exhibits have been displayed in this gallery, but the importance and the impact of what represents, particularly for the celebration and recognition of Black History Month, means for you here, being a Holyoke historian and being involved with Black Holyoke and of course everything that is happening here at Wisteria Hearst? Yeah,
so it's not my story to tell in many ways. I didn't put the exhibit together. I didn't do the research, and I'm not Black, so this isn't my story. But at Wisteria Hearst, we want to be able to give space to other voices. So this is an opportunity to allow other voices, underrepresented voices, space to do that. And this exhibit is just one example of, giving voice to a story that's not always heard, not always learned. So we get a fuller picture of history, not just one narrow view. I really encourage people to come and see and learn, and perhaps there will be more stories that come to light. Oftentimes that happens. People come to see an exhibit and then we find another layer of history that we need to collect in Holyoke.
And for more on the people, stories, and issues that shape the Black experience in Western New England, be sure to visit nepm.org/connectingpoint for our Black History Month collection. Founded in Worcester, Massachusetts, candlepin bowling has been a New England pastime since the 1880s. Similar to traditional 10-pin bowling, candlepin is set apart by its distinctive, tall, thin pins and smaller bowling balls. The once popular sport has seen a decline in recent years, but one of the largest candlepin bowling venues can still be found right here in Hampden County. Connecting Point's Brian Sullivan visited Agawam Bowl to find out what the future has in store for the game.
Its sound is unmistakable. Its fashionable footwear is unlikely to be found being worn anywhere else. This style of bowling, well, that's unlikely to be found being played anywhere outside of New England and some parts of Canada. And the kind of fun that's had by playing was enough to bring out this group of recent retirees on a weeknight.
Growing up in New England, you know about Candlepin. It's very convenient to where we all live, from Russell to Westfield to South Hadley. So we all thought this was a great place to meet, and there was food right around the corner and a good time.
Now, if we're looking for some insight into this ball and pin sport, whose origins date back to 1880 in Worcester, Massachusetts, who better to ask than three guys whose combined experience comes in just shy of 200 years.
I've been mowing at least 70 years.
Well, I was 10 years old.
When I came in was 1958 when I was 14, and everybody had the automatic pin setters by then. So I made it much more efficient. And that was a good time to get into it because there was a lot of factory leagues. It's basically a working man sport. People would go home from work at the big factories in Westfield, and they would clean up, get dressed up, come down and bowl.
Like any sport, candlepin bowling has its own lingo and jargon. And long before it became a popular television series, the term deadwood had direct ties to this game.
When the candlepins are standing, once they're down on the deck, it's considered dead. In 10-pin, they remove the dead wood. Candlepin stays there, and you can play it as you see fit. How you want to. You can discover if I hit it a certain way, it may carry across and carry the pins that are split apart.
Kind of like playing combos in a game of pool without having to call them out ahead of time. It's a feature that makes a challenging game a little easier. For generations of children, candlepin was their introduction to bowling because the size and the weight of the ball made it possible for nearly all ages to play. Nowadays, though, the sport is seeing a much smaller contingency of youngsters taking part.
It's a little more difficult now because there's so many different sports for kids. Football, soccer, baseball, hockey, and everything. And it's all usually runs on Saturdays. And sometimes it's hard to get children into the bowling alley to learn. Some do, and some turn out to be decent bowlers too.
Back here, we see the kind of automation that was still something new for Jim, Frank, and Carl when they first started out, but is only to be expected by the modern day bowler. And if there's anyone who knows about all of the inner workings of this place, it would have to be the company's longest tenured employee.
This building was built in 1955. 4 bowling on both floors. 12 lanes here were put in downstairs at that time, and they decided to do something else with upstairs. Had different businesses, furniture store, shoe store, at times. For a long time, the Rack and Cue Pool Club was up there. In 1994, when the Rack and Cue closed, West Springfield Lanes from Elm Street decided to merge with Agawam Bowl, and their lanes and machines were moved over to here in the upstairs. So we have 10 lanes upstairs and 12 downstairs.
For 6 nights out of the week, the downstairs area is occupied by league bowlers. Upstairs, though, is for anyone else who wants to try their luck.
Bowling always seemed to have the feel of being that thing that people did back in the day. But judging by the number of cars in the parking lot of people that aren't here for league night, maybe it's still the thing to do.
First things first, put on that fancy footwear. And it's a good idea to make sure they're comfortable as well as laced up tight. Next up, find the right colored ball that suits the mood. And lastly, take aim, fire away, and hope for a strike. Or in my case, 1 pin. While taking out only 1 pin felt pretty terrible, anyone who thinks they're going to come out and bowl nothing but strikes had better temper their expectations. And that's actually a good thing.
Every time you come out and bowl candlepins, you can score better than you've ever scored before. Because you could score 300, theoretically, nobody's ever going to get there. It's that difficult, it's that much of a challenge. If the pins were 5 inches around and the balls were 10 inches, it'd be a lot easier. But we do enjoy the challenge.
After meeting at Springfield Technical Community College, Valenti and Giseli Tulloch went on to not only build a life and family together, but also a business called the Academic Leadership Association. This program empowers young people and serves schools in Springfield and Holyoke by addressing their social, emotional needs through mentorship, literacy, and self-advocacy. I spoke with Valenti and Giseli to learn more about the program.
So we're a school-based organization. So we partner with schools in the district. Once you develop a contract with that particular school, we work with their leadership team to identify the students considered most at risk, right? So we look at whether it's grades, behaviors, attendance, and try to figure out what the needs of that student are. And then, we assign our mentors.
And I know that the program started around the beginning of the pandemic, and you were only in one school, but right now you've grown to about 14 schools in Holyoke and Springfield. Tell me about what you do in the schools and how it feels to have this program grow.
It feels amazing. God is good. You're right. We did start with one school. Principal Michael Calvin, he's really took a risk on us and, allowed us to not only begin working with his school, but develop our own systems while doing so, right? So it was tough with the pandemic, but allowed us to, build a stronger foundation for our program. Or at least the school noticed how important something like this was to address the social and emotional needs of each student. We do visits a week with each student, just checking in. And then we have a day where we run after school sessions, which is for group counseling. We run groups with the kids and we do recreational activities. We have monthly field trips and, a lot of great things just around the program. It's always been a need. There's nothing like it in the area. I haven't found anything like it really in the nation.
Once the students are identified, they work with them one-on-one. They work with them collectively as a group. And, it's about the relationship building with the students.
And I was going to say, although that the business is called the Academic Leadership Association, you focus more than just on academics. And I know social emotional learning, self-advocacy is really big in your business. Why is it important to foster these types of skill sets as well beyond academics?
Our kids come to school every day and they deal with a lot, like outside of school. They carry a lot of things in school with them, where it's the resiliency of our kids, the perseverance that they just show is incredible. They, a lot of them don't get enough credit, but they need that support, right? We can't just expect kids to, navigate through all these hardships, or navigate through not even just hardships, but just peer relationships, right? That they struggle with, just knowing who they are. And, on top of that, you have to do school. Right. So you got the social component, but then you have to sit in the classroom and listen to this teacher. And if you guys, they identify these students, that are considered at risk, right? But if they're already struggling and they don't have that relationship with their teacher, our job is to come in and not only let the student know that they're being supported, but also we're advocating for them, helping them build capacity so they can advocate for themselves. But also we're working with teachers to figure out all right, where's the gaps here? Why are we struggling to build this relationship?
And you both know firsthand the impact that a community school and a community organization can have on your education and your future. Valenti, you have even said that if it wasn't for a community college, you might have not even gone to college at all. So talk to me about this educational pathway that you both have gone on, and what made it successful for you, and how can you duplicate that success for other students in the community?
For me, education was always something that was important, and not a lot of family members in my family have degrees or went to college. So STCC, going there, it gave me an opportunity to figure out, okay, what do I want to do, what path do I want to take? So from there, I got my bachelor's at Westfield State, and then eventually I transferred to Bay Path and was able to obtain my MBA. So just that, coming from a Latino family and born and raised in Springfield, I went to school from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade in the Springfield Public Schools. So I know how important it is to be able to model the same thing for other kids. kids who maybe don't have the opportunity or the money to go to school.
And so, being that you both were raised and from this community and understand the struggles and the things that these students really need, what message would you like to share with other students and people that may be watching?
We believe that every kid deserves a voice in their education, right? And they deserve some level of autonomy when it comes to how they learn, right? And I think that we have to do a better job not only modeling the expectations that we have for our students, but also should not lower our expectations, but continue to raise them academically. So how do we provide our kids with a safe space to, to self-advocate, right? But also persevere without giving up on them, right? So again, our job is to ensure that they have that voice, ensure that the families have a voice, but also the teachers, right? Like how can we bridge that gap in the learning for our kids?
And that does it for this edition of Connecting Point. Remember, you can always find all of the stories that you saw in this episode, as well as exclusive features, digital-only content, and so much more online anytime at nepm.org/connectingpoint. Our thanks to the town of South Hadley and the Village Commons for hosting us today. And please be sure to join us again every week right here for more stories of the creativity, culture, and community that make us Western New England. I'm Saidalis Bauer. Thanks for watching and take care.
Support for Connecting Point is provided by our contributing viewers.